Alrighty, going over what secretaries and admin will receive. So, as a secretary, you will get an email automatically. This is what it'll look like, and attached will be a document that lists the person who is completing it. So, it'll be a PDF. You'll open it up. You'll need to print this. What you're doing is verifying the information. So, for example, here is the elementary overload number 2 for specialists. There's 2 different ways specialists can get overload. One being that they have more than 40 sections at 30 minutes or more than 29 sections at 45 minutes. If they qualify under that, it'll go here. Or if there are more than 5 classes that are in overload, then they would also qualify for overloads. There's 2 different ways. So if they click yes, they have more than 5 classes that they see a week, 5 or more, then they would click yes, and then they're going to write in the names of those teachers that are in, that they see classes that are in an overload. Secretaries, if it's all good, you're going to say all good. You're going to sign, date it. You're going to send it on to your admins to sign and date. If this needs corrected, it needs to go back to the teacher to correct, resubmit a new form. Anything above must be filled in electronically. You cannot just go in and cross out a name, cross out yes, and change it to no. It does need to be done through the form. So once the secretary signed off on it, principal signed off, principal will forward it on to their administrator. And then from there, the district administrator will forward that on to HR. So that's the elementary specialist. Let me go pull an elementary regular. An elementary regular one is going to have numbers. I just did a 1, 2, 3, 4 on count day, just to make it easier so you could see the math. October 1st, I put in that they had 1 extra kid. This is a kindergarten teacher. So that'd be $10 per day in October. November, because they had 2 kids now, they're at $20 a day. December, because they had 3 kids, they're at $30 a day. And January, because they're at 4 kids, they're at $60 a day. So in October, there were 22 days. 10 times 22 is 220. It does all the math for us. Total pay for October to January is $2,000 for this person. If it's all good, I don't know why I did that. If it's all good, secretary check off, sign it, date it, pass it on to your administrator. Administrator signs off, dates, passes it on to their administrator, who then passes it on to HR. At the secondary level, it's a little bit different. There's a couple extra steps. So if you're a secondary, because it's done per day, per period, there's also some movement there. So October 1st, this person had a first period with 5 students, a fifth period with 5 students, 6th period with 5 students. Because they were 4 or more above, they qualified for an exception for first period during October, 5th period during October, 6th period during October, and in November during 2nd period. So they actually qualify for, and you can see it down here, 4 exceptions. So any class that is 4 or more above the base that is not rebalanced during the term requires an exception. So that means you as an administrator need to sit down with the teacher and either create a solution based on the contract language, or they qualify for the $500 per time that happens, so per period. So first period, second period, fifth period, and sixth period, because they were in overload at least once, 4 or more above, they qualify for that. The other thing that you'll notice is up here, it does the math per day. So in October, this teacher qualified for $54. In November, this teacher qualified for $56. In December, only $30. And in January, they qualified for $40. So when you go up here, it's $54 a day times 22 days, 56 times 14, 30 times 14, 40 times 18. It does all the math for you. Same goes for here. Any of this information above must be done electronically. If there's an error, you need to email the document back to them, the teacher, and they need to fix it. Down here, whatever the exception is, needs to be added into this box. And you're going to write that in with pen. So if it's $500, just write $500. Can there be different options for exceptions? Yes. Somebody could take first and second period at $500, and maybe your other option was they got a day to work with their co-teacher, and so fifth and sixth period, they took 2 days, or 1 day for fifth period and 1 day for sixth period to work and co-align. And that's the exception that you guys came up with. That could be but it needs to be written in here as to what they chose. And then secretaries, again, you're going to sign off on it. Principals are signing off on it, sending it on to their administrators, who are then sending on an HR. Again, this is the only section besides signatures that should be handwritten. Please reach out if you have any questions. The only other thing is, if you have at the end of January, if you're in January and you have semesters who are in overload of 4 or more, classes that have 4 or more, remember that those need to be rebalanced classes at semester per contract language. So if you have not already started looking at your scheduling and rebalancing overload classes that have 4 or more students in them, you need to get on that. All right, thanks. Have a great day.